What's that?
What's up, everybody? Professional wrestling referee from NWA and PWX, Jared Fritz here. Just wanted to let you know that you can get Ref Fit by tuning into the Edward Fowler podcast, the best wrestling podcast in the UK.
Yeah, I don't know who told to say that, but welcome along to the Fowler Show live on YouTube.com. And it's a privilege to welcome on a great guest here today. He goes by the one and only, the Wildcat Chris Harris, who you recognize from WCW, then to TNA, Total Nonstop Action, aka Impact Wrestling, and then he made a bit of a stunt in the WWE back 10 years ago now, but he's back in TNA for its big show coming in April. Welcome to my show. It's a pleasure to have you on my show.
I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you for having sending me on the show, because when I reached out to you, I didn't know I would get a response from the people who set this up, so I really appreciate you sending me on the show.
I'm glad it worked out, man.
Yeah, me too. And let's talk about then what made you interested in coming back to TNA for its one night only show in April, part of the WrestleMania weekend at WrestleCon.
Well, they got this big TNA show coming up, and they contacted me about coming in, and I mean, it only makes sense, if they're going to do something that big, I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And who are you looking forward to reconnecting with in the one night show? Because there's been many names being announced so far, like P.T. Williams, Chris Sabin, Scott Steiner, all going to be there. Who are you looking forward to reconnecting, or even meeting for the first time?
Oh, any of them, man. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen a lot of the guys, so it's going to be really exciting to be able to sit and talk with them again and reconnect. And in the past year or so, I've also gotten to know some of the current stars there, so it'd be good to see them again as well.
Yeah, and give them advice and guidance as well to say, this is what I made a mistake on, this is how you can improve on these mistakes and other things as well. And who are some of these new stars you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh gosh, the roster's stacked. They got I always enjoy watching Moose. Brian Cage. Eddie Edwards. I mean, all the top guys there. Their women's division is doing really good. So I'm just looking forward to seeing all of them again.
Yeah. And what do you make of Tessa Blanchard as the Impact World Championship?
Well, it certainly got the wrestling world talking. So we'll see where they go from here.
And tell us about what we can expect from you in the show, because of course there's been a lot of websites like to the dirt sheets like to report on things like you're kind of semi-retired, so we don't know how involved you will be in the show. Can you give us any hints of what you may be doing on the show?
I really can't, man. I think it's still up in the air. I think they're still putting it together. I think they're more than likely there's a better chance of not having a match, but I'd still love to be involved, and hopefully they use me as a key player for something. Interesting.
Well, again, you have to tune in. I believe it's on Fight TV as well. This huge event is happening at WrestleCon over the WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, what about who would you like to see come back to TNA for his one night only who've not been announced so far? Is anybody you would love to see back from the old days?
Just some of the names you mentioned. I mean, I think they got a good thing going with having Sabin back.
Yeah.
I know Petey's been working with him for a little while as a coach. So anybody that would just makes sense. I mean, people would love to see some familiar faces.
Yeah. What about your old tag team partner, James Storm? He's quite big now in the NWA. Would you like to see him in the back on TNA for its one night only?
Well, of course, but he's under contract to NWA, so I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
I can't see it happening the way the legalities go.
Fair plays. Also as well under contract right now as well in Impact Wrestling, Ken Shamrock as well. Yeah, he was briefly in the old TNA back in 2002. It'd be great to see him, of course, a part of the show. Hopefully, if he gets used.
Yeah, I mean it's great to see him back. Because he was there from day one.
He sure was, and he's looking good for his age now, isn't he? 55. Looking better than ever. Just like yourself here today. You don't look
like that at 55.
Yeah, well, yourself. You don't look that old either. You still like you're in your 30s.
Well, that's not true, but thank you.
You're welcome. It's true. Your diet or the way you've been keeping healthy over the years has really helped you. In the long run.
No, I've always been, try to stay in decent shape, and it was kind of a lifestyle, so you just keep that going.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk to you about then. Now, this came off a source of mine. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but a source told me that you had a match, maybe a couple of matches in Puerto Rico, in World Wrestling Council. Is this correct? A few years ago, not like present day, but I mean like a few years ago. Is this true?
Maybe back in the TNA days.
Yeah. Do you remember much of them appearing at World Wrestling Council back in the day?
No, I mean I remember going over there, but I don't remember a whole lot about it now.
Okay. Well, at least I can say that source is correct. That's the main thing. I like that. But I mean, what has been some of your favorite things you've been up to in 2019?
Doing what?
What's been some of your favorite things you've been up to in 2019? What have you been up to last year?
Oh, I stay local most of the time now, and helping up with training center around where I live, helping out with the young guys, and just contributing anywhere I can.
Nice. It's quite good. And as well, you are helping the next generation of superstars to come through. And can you give us a bit of a plug of where you're currently working with? Means maybe some of our fans might come down and see you guys in action and say, "Wow, this guy is giving his knowledge and his advice to the next coming time, helping them to get exposure in their local area and beyond."
Well, there's a Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana tri-state based promotion, the Northern Wrestling Federation, which is actually where Abyss and I got our start. So I'd help out with them a lot. They also have a training center called Bone Crushers that they're bringing up the next generation.
Yeah, and again, you and Abyss go are quite tight, aren't you? You and Abyss, because you've done many things together, like on the website for the Abyss, and even your website as well at one point. And are you still tight today with Abyss? And again, it's unfortunate that Abyss can't be there apart the one night only because he's under contract with WWE. Yeah,
that would be that'd be big for him to be there, but we all know that's not going to happen. But who's to say? Maybe there'll be another TNA event down the road.
I hope so. But I do hope there will be another one soon, and hopefully that people who can't be a part of it this time around can be a part of it the next time around and make it bigger and better, kind of thing. But I'm sure this event will be much bigger and better, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what your role will be in the actual show, and seeing how the other guys are going to fit into the show as well, because many of them have not really been in a TNA audience for a while now. And what was the atmosphere like when you competed at Impact Wrestling than any other crowd you performed in front of?
What was it like competing there?
Yeah, then comparing it to other places you've competed, what was it like competing in TNA?
Oh, TNA! I mean, that was where I made my name. So I thoroughly enjoyed it there. The talent was so good. I got to work with a lot of guys. Great management all around with the promotion. So, my days there I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you did make your name big there with American Most Wanted. And I like on your Twitter, you keep that homage as well on your Twitter page as well. And feel free to plug that for where anyone can follow you at, the official Twitter channel for you.
Yeah, my Twitter page is at AMW Wildcat, and for any merchandise, anything like that, all that information is right on that page. So, go to that, and you can drop me a line as well.
Yeah. He does respond to you as well. And we got some interesting questions as well, which came through. So I know you saw a few of them, which we'll get to in a few minutes. And let's talk to you about then who you've kept in contact over the years. Then, since when you left Impact Wrestling the second time, then back in, I think it was like around about 2011, 2012. Have you kept in contact with anybody from Impact?
Yeah, I mean, I keep in touch with Storm, and then of course Abyss and I are from the same area. We keep in touch.
Oh, that's good.
And then over the past couple of years, I've been in touch with Scott D'Amore. So. Around Impact. So, not as many as I'd like to, but that's just part of the business, man. I mean, when you're when you're on the road, you're spending more time with the guys than you are your own families, and it's you hate when there's a change in that pattern. But we all just move on, and go to other adventures.
Yeah, you're right there. And so we got some questions came in over the weekend, which is quite good. Of course, somebody did ask where you can get your merchandise, and you did politely responded to that question with not tough one. One came in from a user called Danny Ali Wolf, if that's how you pronounce it. They got a bunch of questions for you, but I mean, some of these questions are like how you got your nickname, to any stories of Cowboy James Storm, and do you have any favorite moments of Impact when you were there, and your reaction of being a heel, all in one there. Summarizing.
My memories from Impact?
Yeah. It's last TNA.
Gosh, I think, people still talk about the cage matches.
Mm-hmm. Jeff Jarrett. Is that right?
Storm and I's Texas Death Match. That was a big one for me. My NWA World Title match with Jeff Jarrett. There's been so many good times. I mean, and the thing is, a lot of them weren't even televised. So, it's not like we can go back and look. But I mean, there's such good memories.
Yeah, there is a lot of good memories, and it's quite a shame that they're not televised. Kind of thing. That there's no way we can see these classic matches which didn't get TV time. But you never know. Somebody out there may have recorded it on a vintage camera or something. You never know. Might pop up somewhere down the line.
Nowadays, everything shows up, so I'm sure somebody's got it somewhere.
Yeah. So tell us about, you're outside right now. It is quite nice. And how is the weather where you are today?
Weather's a little chilly still. That's the Kentucky weather for you. It changes every minute.
Any snow or anything like that, or was it quite just rainy or just cold today?
Yeah, rainy and cold. We had a little snow last week, but we've been pretty. The winter hasn't been too bad.
That's good to hear. Let's talk to you about this as well, because we want to talk to you about these rumors. There's been some rumors going around that apparently Impact Wrestling themselves are apparently in talks with Impact's own Vince Russo, who used to be a part of that years ago. I know you had a good relationship with Vince Russo back when he was a part of TNA, and even the former president of TNA, Dixie Carter, who has of course got a cousin here in the UK, who is a TV presenter called Declan Donnelly, which came out last year on ITV1. If them two names came back into the one night show, would you be excited to see them?
I'd love to see those guys. I actually just read that myself this past week, so yeah, I heard there was a good chance for both of them. So I think Dixie would love to do that, and I'm not sure how busy Vince is, but I'm sure if he had an opportunity, he'd like to pop into, and I don't know what they would do with him, but there's always controversy around Vince.
Yes, there's definitely is controversy. And what are some of your favorites of both Dixie and Vince Russo from your time working with them?
Oh yeah, I mean they were there pretty much the whole time I was there.
Have you got any particular memories of them, or have you just got every time you just went to the arena, you always got good fond of them? Good times.
Well, I mean, I've always had a really good relationship with Dixie from the day she came in.
Yeah.
It was kind of we were still trying to build then, so I looked at it more of a we were a real tight knit family. Mm-hmm. And then I worked with Vince a little bit in WCW, but I think I had to remind him of that.
Oh, really?
But I got really tight with him in the TNA, especially in the world title picture with Jeff.
Yeah.
He kind of led me through all that, and I think we told a really good story with that.
You did, and many fans, when you ask fans of their favorite of TNA, they always bring up the Chris Harris versus Jeff Jarrett match. And what a way, what a legend to work with as well, with the King of the Mountain, Jeff Jarrett, back in the day. And do you miss because I want to get your reaction as well on the ring, because I know when TNA first started, it was a 4-sided ring, and then it went from a 4-sided ring to a 6-sided ring, which I thought was awesome. It was something different, and the concept was very different from other companies. What did you prefer, the 4-sided ring, or did you like the 6-sided ring? Which one did you prefer the most?
Well, when we first found out they were going to flip to the 6-sided ring, I think a lot of us were against it.
Right.
Just because any kind of big change like that can make a huge difference. But the truth is, we all adapted pretty quick with it. And I was actually sad to see it go when they switched back to the 4-sided ring. So
Me too. I miss it. I preferred it if they went for the 6-sided ring still, because apparently they changed it because of safety issues or something with the talent who weren't really used to wrestling in a 6-sided ring. But I preferred it because
it was something that it made TNA stand out a little bit, and
definitely did.
Like I said, I think the guys enjoyed working in it, and it was sad to see that go. But from what I understand, I think they're going to bring that back for the TNA show as well.
Ooh, how exciting releasing! Well, we again, you can keep up today at Impact Wrestling on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram for all the latest regarding the There's No Place Like Home show. It's happening again on WrestleCon over the weekend of WrestleMania. In a few weeks, in a few months' time, 2 months from now, in April. So I thought it was March there for a second already. You got me pumped up already here. But that'd be huge news if they do go back to the 6-sided ring for one night only. That would truly be TNA. And one of my favorite bits of that TNA is because when we had these crazy stunts by the X Division, because I personally think the X Division made TNA what it was. I could be wrong, our own opinions, so you can give me your opinion in a minute. But I truly think that the X Division and all those cruiserweights were like the backbone, because when they did these crazy stunts, the bands used to go mental and used to chant TNA. Nowadays, you can't really say, there's not really a catchphrase you can say in Impact Wrestling, because it's not very catchy, the word Impact. You can't really say Impact, can you really? But
Impact doesn't roll off your tongue the way TNA does.
Yeah, exactly. A bit like AEW as well, like when the huge bump happens on the outside, people do the AEW. But like what TNA was, I think TNA started all that back in the day. So it gives me chills when I hear the bands chanting a company's name, because it reminds me of TNA days.
Well, for one night only, we're going to hear that again.
Yeah, and as well, I forgot to mention as well, we've also got D'Lo Brown, of course, who's a producer for Impact. He's going to be wrestling on the one night only show with Ken Anderson, part of the Aces and Eights.
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
Looking forward to reconnecting with Ken Anderson.
Yeah, he was there. I think he spent most of his time there after I had left, but I was still coming back just to see the guys. So, I got to hang out with him a little bit, and D'Lo, I've always been tight with D'Lo, so it's gonna be a pretty awesome event.
Yeah, absolutely, it will be. And what are your other plans for 2020? And after this big show in April, have you got anything else planned yet, or are you still in the works with a few projects and sorts of other shows?
Oh, this is kind of what I'm focused on right now. I mean, I have a few things in the works, but once this became a reality, I mean, this is what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, well, you're on your own. Everybody is looking forward to it, including myself. And we've had on, you guys have had some great celebrities over the years turning up at TNA. Do you think we could see any celebs turning up to this one night only show? Because you guys like to mix it in with some football players over there.
Sure, man, that's always possible. I mean, I even think some of the TNA guys, I think they're going to announce the majority of them, but you never know. There might be some surprises that come in as well.
Yeah, it's worth a watch, and it'll be on Fight TV. It's read. It's on Fight TV. I think it's April 4th. Is that right?
I think it's April 3rd.
April 3rd. I know it's round about that weekend. I read something the other day, April 4th, so April 3rd. at WrestleCon in Tampa this year. That's where WrestleMania is, because it's happening in Tampa. Looking forward to going to Florida. It's a bit different from where you are in Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, I lived in Florida for about 5 years, so it would be nice to get back to some nice weather.
So you to be used to the temperature. Then, of course, you said to go down there for the tapings in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, yeah, we spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah, because I knew. I just knew where the show, because you all used to be tanned. So I just knew they're shooting it somewhere hot. That's how I knew, because you guys were always tanned, and it's like, where did you go? Did you just lie in a sunbed all day before you come out to the show?
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes, like Kurt Angle did when he showed up. You remember when he was in a sunbed?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was quite hilarious. That was one of my favorites. We had on Shark Boy on there last year as well. You know, Shao. Yeah. Do you want to see him back?
Yeah, Shark Boy would be a great guy to have back.
It would, wouldn't it? You know, he's quite a character, you know, and especially after his coma experience. And I do hope that we can see an interaction with you and Shark Boy.
Me and Shark Boy, yeah, we had I think when he went through his coma, we had some interaction with each other.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys were great. But you know, you guys were great when we did have this, when we did see you on camera with him as well, which is cool. And when TNA first came onto UK TV back in 2007 on Bravo, do you remember that feedback? Did you get told that you were going to be on UK TV back in the day, back in 2007?
I honestly can't remember. I think things were going so good back then, and yeah, things were expanding at a pretty good rate. So I couldn't keep up with all of it.
Fair enough. Too much to process in there. So let's talk about then who this is what we have to do on the Fowler show. If you did wrestle again, okay, in like a final match or something, who would it be?
Oh, that'd be hard, man. I don't know. I'd have to pick some of my old rivals, like, you know, even Storm or Abyss.
Yeah.
You know, just, you know, if it was going to mean anything like that, it would have to be one of those names that I had some great matches with in the TNA days.
Yeah. I prefer the 2004 version of the Abyss. You know, when he was in that blue jacket. I'm going to say it might not be right terminology, but that's what I'm going to go with. I think it was like a blue jacket he used to wear with his black mask. That was the best Abyss, I thought, because he was quite scary, quite imitating back then in the day. Which Abyss did you like?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it was. I think those days were really good just because the character was so new.
Yeah.
And he had a lot to do, a lot of room to move with different directions he could go. But the later Abyss, I really got into, because I think he finally got into, you know, the character that he wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And of course, we saw some crazy stunts at times, but you know, a lot of people forget, you know, this guy. He's a great worker.
Yeah, he is a great worker, and also I like the bit when he came in as his brother as well. That was quite funny, as Joseph Parker, as well. But I mean, what was some of your favorite tag team matches? And when you teamed up with Chris Harris, part of the American Most Wanted, again, that was a great tag team of you and James Storm. Do you remember any fun memories down the road?
Oh, we had some great matches in the beginning when the company first started, because we were really trying to make an impact. Back then. Was it
whose idea as well? Whose idea was it to have you two team up? Was it your idea, or was it yourself and James Storm's idea to do it, or management?
Storm and I had worked together for a few years already, before TNA. But then when TNA came around, I think that they were sold on both of us. They just didn't know what to do with us, so it was management that threw us together.
Gotcha.
And And so Storm and I just kind of looked at it like, hey, if this is our opportunity, we're going to make the best out of it. And so we tried to be the best tag team there was.
And you was. And I think you were one of the best tag teams in TNA at that time. And even to today, you're in the top 5, I think, of wrestling fans around the world who can, probably name them in the top 5 at least, because if you're not in the top 5, then you're not a wrestling fan of TNA, because America's Most Wanted are one of the biggest tag teams in the world, I think. And you got other tag teams like LAX as well, who started to come around as well. And then you had a brief appearance of the Road Warriors of in TNA. What was it? Did you remember anything about them when they appeared?
Well, I can't forget that, man, because of the match that we were doing. I think we were doing maybe an 8-man tag. Mm-hmm. And then when the Road Warriors hit the ring, yeah, you could. I mean, the crowd just went nuts. And laying in the ring, I was laying there, trying to react to what was going on. But I mean, you kind of get caught up in the moment. You can't believe the Road Warriors are there.
Yeah, it was quite a moment, and it was one of the probably one of the greatest moments in the history of the company as well. And is there anybody from the past who could have still be alive today? Because you guys had Randy Savage at one point in wrestling in TNA, Kurt Hennig as well, Mr. Perfect. I think you were quite close with him, wasn't you, as well, from when he came to TNA?
Yeah, it was Savage was always one of my idols, so having him there, that was a big thrill for me. The little kid came out of me again, and but of course, I was really tight with Kurt, so having him around, just as a locker room leader, I was very, very fortunate to spend some time with him there.
Wow, yeah, it's quite sad what happened to Mr. Perfect as well. Have you got any good stories of you and him in TNA back in the day?
Oh, there's always good stories with Perfect. All the ribs he played on people. So
tell us about these ribs. Do you remember any ribs he did on any of the roster? Maybe yourself.
What's funny? He never really did anything to me. I don't know if that meant he. I'd like to think.
He must respect you.
You usually play the jokes on the people you like, but I don't remember him doing a whole lot. But I witnessed a few of them.
Yeah. What was one of the crazies he did?
Oh, I remember. He got a bit drunk on Jack.
Wow.
He was doing a shot for shot with him, but it turned out at the end of the night we found out Kurt was drinking iced tea.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Oh my word, what a guy! And as well, you mentioned Randy Savage working with him a little bit. Did you come across him in TNA? I mean, in WCW, but or not?
No, he was already gone from WCW when I got there. So that was the first time I got a chance to meet him.
Was he? I bet it was quite a pleasure and quite the guy when you met him in TNA as well. And I bet did you watch his match as well when he wrestled there?
Oh sure, yeah, we were all glued to it.
Oh, that's good. What did you think of his performance?
Well, there wasn't much to it. He came down at the end of the match and then just kind of finished it. So,
yeah.
But it was good for what it was. People wanted to see him. They got to see him. They got the win, and Randy Savage was in TNA.
He was. And there's one guy that's popping my head right now was Lex Luger. He appeared in TNA one time as well. He helped Abyss to beat AJ Styles in a tables match, I believe it was at the time. He's still around. He could make a surprise appearance.
He could make it. He wasn't there for a long time, but you never know.
But he's still a name who's associated with TNA, kind of thing. He started yesterday, he helped the best to beat AJ Styles, a phenomenal one in a tables match, and it's a shame we didn't see much interaction with you and AJ Styles in the later years before you went, kind of thing.
Yeah, we had we got to work together a lot in the earlier days, and then even later on, him and Chris Daniels were teaming up against Storm and I. We had some really good matches, but I would have liked to had some more world title matches with him in the later years.
Absolutely. And of course, Chris Daniels, of course, now a part of AEW. Have you checked out AEW?
Oh yeah, I really enjoy AEW.
Do you? That's good to hear. Who's some of your breakout stars? And who do you think will be a breakout star in both TNA, Impact Wrestling this year, and in AEW? Just from your knowledge and experience you've picked up over your years in the business.
Well, I'd heard so much about Kenny Omega, but I never had a chance to really have a chance to watch him work.
Yeah.
So I'm finally getting. I enjoy watching Kenny a lot.
That's cool. That's good. And of course, the Young Bucks, they were in TNA for a minute, as well as called as Generation Me. They could show up maybe, because again, Tony Khan did let Jim Ross to appear on the Raw reunion last year. He declined to go. So I mean, he could be up for allowing some of his talent to appear in TNA, like Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, tag team there. He used to be in TNA and the Young Bucks at one point. Maybe that could happen as well, maybe.
I mean, I'd love to see Daniels and Kazarian show up, but I think it's pretty much if you're on a contract with any other promotion, the chances are against it.
Okay. Even though the Young Bucks did kind of teased it a little bit on their Twitter account last year, but I agree. Again, it could be a surprise. He could be telling us all lies here, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, he might be saying, "I can't tell this guy anything because it's a secret." So, or he could be telling us the truth. We'll find out in April 4th or 3rd at WrestleCon weekend.
We know that.
Hey, pardon? Sorry, I broke up a bit. Could you repeat?
Yeah, see, you never say never in wrestling.
Yes, exactly, because we all know what happens then, because we all come out as morons, or we're thinking, oh, it would never happen, and then about, I don't know, a day or so, or a month or so later, you'll see this match happen. So, but never say never indeed. And so let's talk to you about then what else you do outside of wrestling then. When you're not busy helping the next generation of stars break into the business, and what else are you up to in your spare time?
I kind of do my own thing, man. I don't get out a whole lot. I just I'm a quiet kind of guy, and so I spend a lot of time at home. Maybe traveling, seeing family, things like that. But that's really about it.
Interesting. Well, it's good because you get to relax and to enjoy life more as well. It's after the years of going up and down the road and visiting many different cities. And which are some of the cities you enjoyed to visit when you were on the road?
Well, I'd have to say Nashville and Orlando because we spent so much time there, so they were like second homes.
Okay, so I'm surprised you didn't say England or anything like that. Would you like to come back to England maybe one day?
Sure, I'd love to, man.
Come back to back to the best city in the world, better than Kentucky, better than Orlando, better than anywhere else in the US. Manchester, UK, the best place to live. You get every weather you can think of here in Manchester. You get rain, you get strong winds, you get snow, you get sleet, you get hailstone. That's all in one day.
We'll see. Maybe one day.
Even thunderstorms. We got all them in one day, and that was today. So it will be a pleasure to see you back in the UK. Maybe even for like a Q&A, an audience with kind of aspect, there's people asking you the questions, or even making a guest appearance as like a what you call them, interference, or as a manager or some sort of things. I know you've done producing and other things, and as you now grow out of wrestling as a wrestler, have you ever thought of being a full-time producer or anything like that, or are you more like not interested in producing kind of thing?
No, actually, I mean, considering my time in the ring is pretty much done, I think I still have a lot I can contribute. So I would love to be in a producer or agent type role. I would really enjoy that, and I'd like to be able to contribute to anybody that where I can help out with the younger talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we do hope that we hear your name again under contract with maybe with one of these companies soon. And so tell us about the upcoming events you will be at with your local company in Kentucky. It means our fans can check them out if you do know the dates or anything like that.
Well, I'll give you their website. It's nwfwrestling.com. You can go there and check out all the upcoming dates, and they usually have something on YouTube going on where you can check that out as well.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I'm surprised you're not on Instagram. I'm surprised you're not on Instagram showing your favorite moments from your time with TNA and other things. I'm surprised you don't do Instagram. I know you're on Twitter, as you mentioned before. Have you ever thought of doing Instagram?
Yeah, I'm new to Instagram. I just got on.
Oh, you just got on? Okay, what hell's your handle?
It is AMW Wildcat Chris Harris.
Oh, there you go. Follow him today on Instagram. I did not know that because I would have tagged you in my post. When did you join? A few days ago or today? Or how soon did you join?
No, it's been about a month.
A month? Flipping heck. I did try to search for you on Instagram, but didn't pop up, so I have to make sure I do type that in now, and hopefully you'll pop up. Also, I want to know this. This is a tough question. Maybe not for you, maybe not. Who knows? Have you enjoyed the show so far? Because this is a different podcast you've probably been on than the ones you've done so far, hyping up TNA's There's No Place Like Home. How would you rate with your other podcasts you've done this year so far?
Oh, this is great, man. I mean, since the TNA show has come up, I've had a lot of requests, but yeah, it's always good to get out there.
Yeah. And what enticed you to come on this show, by the way? When I sent the email to your booking management, what did they? What were your thoughts?
Well, it's always good to talk to somebody across the pond.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And, it's a privilege to have you on the show. I do hope you come back on again.
I'd love to, man. Anytime.
Cool. And also, as well, I want to know this. I asked this all my guests. This might be a tough question for you. But who could you get me in contact with next to come on this show? As you know, I've had on Shark Boy. I've had on UFC fighters. People from Ring of Honor as well, even MLW, Major League Wrestling. Have you watched them, MLW?
No, I haven't been watching MLW.
Okay, well they're quite a good underground company. They are great. They've got some of the top hot spots of them. Timothy Thatcher was in MLW for a little bit before he got signed to WWE.
No, I don't know him.
Oh well. He's going to be a big star soon, either in WWE or even beyond WWE, depending how they use him in that company. But back to you, who would you suggest me to get in contact with next?
Oh hell, I could get you in touch with maybe Storm or Abyss or somebody like that if they're even allowed to do things like that.
Okay, well, probably not Abyss because he's in the big leagues again. Much respect to Abyss, but he's doing big things, producing backstage at WWE. I've been at his role isn't it? Producing new talent, and he is in talent in WWE, which is quite good, I think. And I do hope that you get the opportunity to do that somewhere big, because you do deserve that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You do, and I truly mean that. And if you can, I actually tagged James Storm in the tweet I sent to you, so you might see that. I doubt it, but who knows? But if you can help me to get in contact with James Storm, if he can do those kind of things, then that'd be great. Yeah,
man, sure.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. And is there anything else you would like to say, which I might not mention, which you may think is very important? To say on the Edward Fowler show? That could be to do with anything at all, to plug yourself or anything you want to plug which you may be a part of, or anything to do with the TNA show coming up in April.
Yeah, man, just hopefully everybody tunes into the TNA show, and if you want to drop me a line, it's on Twitter, AMW Wildcat.
Yeah, Yeah, there you go. And also on Instagram as well. He just joined Instagram, people. So tune in on Instagram. We're going to be tagging him a lot now on Instagram. So we look forward to that. And he said he's going to try and get me in contact with James Storm. So now people have told me this before, when they say, "Well, I will help you get in contact with these people," not you personally, but I do you know a wrestler called Marty the Moth? He was a part of Double Tough Enough years ago. He was part of he was in Lucha Underground. Have you ever heard of him?
No. So.
Okay, well, Marty the Moth is a great wrestler, and he's currently injured at the moment, but he's almost 100% cleared. But there's other company. we're gonna hyping it up, and this other company asked me to ask them to help me get in contact with him because he was quite slow to responding to his DMs on Twitter. So they said, "Oh yeah, we will speak to him for you," but they never did. So I did a lot of work with Martin the Moth. Took like 3 months, but anyway, that's not the point. The point was that they said something and they did something completely different. So, but I trust you.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll see what we can work out.
Yes, absolutely. So again, Chris Harris of Wildcat from WCW, TNA, and WWE appearing here today, and I do hope that you enjoy yourself at the TNA One Night Only pay-per-view, which is on Bite TV. Who follow me on Twitter, by the way, so I must be doing something right if Bite TV are following me on Twitter. It's best for business. Again, we don't know the exact price of the pay-per-view, but if you want to watch it, then visit fighttv.com to find out more information. Also, keep it to Impact Wrestling on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and even their website, impactwrestling.com, for all the latest information regarding the TNA's There's No Place Like Home pay-per-view. It's going to be a blockbuster show. As Chris Harris said before, there could be more announcements being made in the next few weeks or days or months regarding the pay-per-view. As he did hint about maybe the 6th sided ring returning as well. If that happens, I'll be very happy with a lot of other fans, and that'll be true what TNA is. TNA all the way. And it's, again, been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And thank you again.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for having me.